Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Rising Podcast. Today, we are going to be talking about simplicity, my third principle, and how I became more of a minimalist. Enjoy. Okay, so everybody always asks me, how did you become so savage in throwing away your things and not attaching yourself to physical clutter? So when I was young, I had a mother who saved everything. And it got to the point where we couldn't even eat at the kitchen table because she had so much stuff all around the house. And this is how I grew up. And I just vowed the day that I moved out, I would not live like this. So when I moved out of the house at 18 and I got my first apartment and I lived on college campus, I decided that I was just going to have the basics and I was going to live with less. And that's pretty much how I've lived, most of my life. But it really ramped up in 2015 when I watched the documentary, The Minimalists, and that forever changed me. I went into a deep, deep dive and I started really learning so much about that community. And I got introduced to Joshua Becker, who's huge in the minimalist space. And I just started, eating everything up on simplicity and living with less. And I actually wanted to start a platform on minimalism. I originally trademarked spiritually refined, aging lightly, and I thought that was what I was going to focus on solely. But I expanded a lot of my work, so I wanted to include other principles, which I work on this platform, on the Rising. So if you know my principles, they spell out RISE. So R is for reflection, I is for intention, the S is for simplicity, and the E is for enjoyment. So I really feel like these 4 pillars, they really help you in life and on your journey. But I always go back to simplicity. And you're not supposed to have a favorite child, but simplicity is really close to my heart. And I really believe that if you can live with less, it will free you of these attachments on this physical earth. Because as Josh Milborn says in, The Minimalist, he says, you can't take a U-Haul with you when you die. And that is so true. You can't take any of the things that you're saving, all your knickknacks, all the things that you think you need. You're not going to take it with you when you go. It will all be left behind. So it really is key to try to live with pretty much the basics. I mean, you can have your indulgences. Listen, I do too. There are things that I love. I definitely love, a nice purse, a nice pair of shoes. But do I need a lot of them? No, I'm good with just a few things. And I don't need to buy multiples of things. I don't need to say yes to every sale that's out there. And even though it's a deal, I may not need it. And there are times where I fill up my cart online and I think about it for 24 hours. And oftentimes in those 24 hours, I am not as tempted to push the buy now button. So in taking 24 hours to really think about it, I sometimes don't even think I need it anymore. But we live in a society that is very impulsive, and we get inundated with things on a daily basis through Instagram ads, TikTok ads, and we think, oh, I need that. And we really don't. And we really need to be mindful of what we're bringing into our homes and think twice about that purchase. So we have to be okay with not consuming and instead decluttering. And this is something that I really encourage you all to focus on, especially as we wrap up the second half of the year. What can we let go of so that we don't go into next year with more clutter? And we really need to become aware. And so much of the rising and this journey is about awareness. And we need to bring conscious awareness into what we're bringing into our homes. And if it's going to create more chaos, we need to say no, because we need to clear the spaces in our homes to cultivate calm. And these are places where your family's gathering. So we need to keep them as clean, as clear as possible. And you can then start to enjoy the people in your home and not be burdened by the stuff around them. And that's what people need to really understand. It's more than just decluttering. It really is about putting into focus the things that matter in your life. And it's really about people, not things. So we need to really work on simplicity. I as well. I need to continue to free up space for the things that matter. And this is a constant challenge when you're told just buy more, just, consume. So we just need to become comfortable with taking a pause and saying, maybe not this time. So as we look at the second half of the year and wrapping it up, what can you clear? What can you make space for? What beautiful energy do you want to come into your home? And put the focus on that. So I'm with you on the journey. We will continue to do this together. I will be giving you more tips along the way. And ultimately, I just want you to live a calm, peaceful life with less. All right. Stay tuned for the next episode. Thank you so much.